Hi, it's Michael Senoff with Michael Senoff's HardToFindSeminars.com. The title of this interview is called How to Know If Mobile Marketing is Right for Your Business, a realistic guide to the cost and the benefits. Mobile marketing is still in its infancy, and because it's predicted to be huge, everyone wants to get in on the ground floor. But the big question is, who's making money off of it, and how? Each text message costs money, and if you're looking at a long list of customers, those messages will add up quickly. So in this audio, you'll hear all about the realistic side of mobile marketing from an expert who admits that nobody is really making any money off of it yet. But that will probably change in the future. So he says you may want to get yourself educated and ready right now, and this audio will help you do that. You'll also hear where mobile marketing is today, where it's headed, and what that means to you. You'll learn technical terms explain. What is a 3G or 4G network, short message service, SMS, multimedia service, MMS, keyword shared service, and how they all work together. You'll learn what SMS aggregators are, how much they charge, and why you need to go through them in mobile marketing. You'll learn examples of specific mobile marketing campaigns that are working and some possibilities for the future. You'll learn all about the barriers that may prevent you from diving in full force, including the limited battery life of phones, limited power consumption needed for integration, downloading restrictions, and more. You'll learn how to get value from your text messaging, the kind of information you can collect when someone text messages you, and how to use texting to track your marketing campaigns with almost 100% accuracy. You'll learn how to combine your email with your phone to cut the cost of mobile marketing promotions. In some ways, companies are already getting around costly carrier billing. There's a lot of hype around mobile marketing right now. Everyone wants it to be the next best thing. And although there are indicators that it's headed in that direction, there's also a lot of barriers that prevent any real money making today. And this audio will give you a realistic inside look at this new media platform, along with some tips and tricks on how businesses are making the most of it right now. Now let's get going. How big is this mobile marketing going to be? Is it going to be as huge as she says it is?
I think it's going to be that big, if not even bigger. It's all going to go that way because everyone has the phones with them at all times. It's a more in-touch media. And right now, a lot of big companies are kind of stalled on where they want to go. We've got a lot of meetings with big companies. I mean, I could say like we had a meeting with Universal Music Group and even Sony BMG. Those two companies, they want to get into space, and I almost see a repeat of what's happening before. They're hesitating like they did with the Internet, and then they all partnered with iTunes. And now iTunes has all this power. Well, the same thing is going on as well, is they're a little hesitant to get into the technology because it's new, which is usually adopted by the smaller people, early adapters anyway. But because they're hesitating, they're in a position where they've been working with this company, Moses.
What is Moses?
Moses is kind of like a mobile iTunes, so to say.
Moses, like Moses part of the Red Sea, Moses?
Yeah, I think it's MOZES.com. MOSES, I'm not even sure, actually.
Okay, I'll check it out.
They're doing the same thing now. They're partnering with a company like that, and they're really giving them all the power instead of having their own networks, which later on everyone realized that they needed their own website, they needed their own email, they needed everything all on their own. I mean, they're trying to get out of these iTunes deals, and here they are on the mobile side, kind of going right into it.
So a lot of these big music groups are locked in with iTunes with contracts and stuff?
From what I understand, iTunes controls a lot of that now. I mean, they're taking a big amount of the profit. They have the big distribution online. Even a company like Rhapsody, too, though. I mean, they're all sharing. Those companies try to start their own called Urge. I don't know if you heard of it. It was supposed to be for your mobile MP3 device or whatever, and it never really took off. So kind of like a repeat of what happened on the Internet, but in a different way.
Well, according to the numbers I was hearing with the other expert, do you know the stats on how many people are carrying mobile phones that access the Internet now? And what do you see 5 years from now with these smartphones? I think they're going to be like little vending machines. They'll practically give the phones away for free.
Oh, I think so. I think there's been programs where they've tried to do that already, give phones away for free in exchange for listening to ads before you make a call and stuff like that. I've heard of that in other countries. 5 years from now, yes, everyone's going to have mobile Internet, and I agree with a lot of where it's going to go in the far-off future. The problem is there's going to be a staggered, it might even be like 10 years before everyone's really using the mobile Internet. I still feel text messaging and the multimedia messaging, which isn't even available yet on a commercial basis, that's where I feel it's going to really stay popular and pertinent, just as email is today, and simple things like RSS. these simple instant delivery methods, that's where I feel it's going to keep going. The mobile web, it's still going to be limited, even though you'll be able to do Flash on your phone soon, which most phones can't do. Like they can play YouTube, but they can't do Flash videos yet. That's all going to come out, but then a lot of that's going to come down to power consumption, and that's one of the biggest problems with these mobile devices, is when you're doing all this interactive stuff on the phone, and you're on a website and it's doing all these different things on your phone, that's eating your battery life. You know, they're working on like hydrogen fuel cell technology and stuff, but it's not stable yet, so until that's really come around, the mobile web, I think, is going to have a little bit of a stagger with the high interactivity you see on the internet today.
So what do you do now? What's your involvement with mobile? Where are you really sitting on the inside of this whole thing?
I run a company called Sumi Communications, and that's a company where we specialize in mobile, but mostly text messaging, like I said, interactive text messaging more to be specific.
For a neophyte, what is text messaging?
The text messaging, or it's called SMS, which stands for Short Message Service, is just the way to send messages from phone to phone. Even back maybe 7 years ago, you could only do inter-network text messaging. So I remember OmniPoint, which turned into T-Mobile later, but you could only text message people on OmniPoint. And the same thing with Verizon. It was only network to network. It only became a standard a few years ago, which is when it started exploding.
What was the change that made it a standard where it was the ability to text out of network?
Well, the problem is, like in the U.S., the carriers don't play as nice as they do in Europe yet. In Europe, they understand that they need to have some sort of standardization across networks. Not necessarily the type of network, but for messaging and communication methods, you do, and the U.S. is really behind in that. So you can't even do MMS messaging from a short code. That's not even possible here when that's been going on for years out in Europe.
What's MMS?
MMS is multimedia messaging. Like when you take a video on your phone or take a picture and send it to someone, not via email. So like the iPhone right now, the big stink was it didn't do MMS. But the thing is, the carriers don't really even support it as much on a commercial basis yet, and that's all going to start rolling out very soon.
Hi, it's Michael Senoff with HardToFindSeminars.com. Thanks for watching this video. You know, many of my interviews last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, sometimes even up to 2.5 hours long. They're actual mini-seminars, and you've just listened to a short sample of just one of over 117 hours of exciting, hard-hitting, mind-blowing interviews on how to make money in direct mail, advertising, copywriting. I assure you, there is not a resource anywhere on the internet or on the planet that comes close to the free information I provide at HardToFindSeminars.com. So go right now to HardToFindSeminars.com and you'll have free access to 117 hours of audio interviews with typed word-for-word downloadable transcripts and downloadable MP3 files. Please browse some more of the videos or go right directly to HardToFindSeminars.com. Thanks for watching.